Let's go flying.
Well, I'm here in the hangar and bad news. Bad news. So I was flying the other day and had a sudden pressure fluctuation in the engine monitoring. I think I've got an oil seal issue. We're gonna pull apart the motor. Dang it. So I don't even know what to say. What the had a oil consumption issue where in just over an hour and a half, the motor consumed over 2 quarts of oil. So I went to the internet for some help and I posted in a forum, and there were hundreds of different ideas as to what it could be. What I think it might be is a blown valve on a cylinder. That could cause it. All the oil is actually being consumed internal to the engine because the exhaust is very dirty. I've got some soot on my shock absorber. So that's a big issue, that it's an internal issue. I might have a blown seal, an oil seal, where oil is blowing past a ring on the piston and getting into the engine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to inspect, I'm going to do a compression test. I'm going to do spark plug inspection. So if I've got a sooty spark plug, I know that that's the particular cylinder. What I'm really hoping we don't find is a trashed engine, because if a ring breaks into a bunch of different pieces of metal sharding, that can get up in between piston and cylinder linings and just tear up the motor. So if there's pieces of metal floating around in the airplane or in the engine, that'll be bad news. So we got Jason over here. I'm gonna get to work. Let's tear apart this motor and see if we can find out what's wrong with it. Dang it. Sucks. I think we found at least which cylinder is the big problem. Let's have a look. On the left, there's cylinder number 3. On the right is cylinder number 1. The other two kind of look like number 1 there. So number 3 cylinder, definitely not looking good. I think it's number 3. Number 3. So now what we're going to do is a compression check on that cylinder just to verify. We're going to do a compression on 1 and number 3 on the same side. We'll do a compression all the way around. I'm willing to bet we have a lower compression on number 3. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to find top dead center. And what I like to do is, first of all, put my finger over the hole, and you can kind of feel when the cylinder is starting to pressurize. Keep in mind I have the plugs out of all 4 cylinders. Okay, there we go. Here comes the air. So now that I know that the piston's coming up, I'm going to use the screwdriver to feel for the top of the piston. There it is right there. So I can feel the top of the piston. So now I'm looking for the uppermost part. I'm very gentle because I don't want to scratch the top of the piston, but so I'm moving the propeller, still coming up, still coming up, still coming up. Okay, oh, still coming up. And now it's going back down. So right there is top dead center. That's where I need to test the compression. All right, so this is the most dangerous part of doing a compression test on an aircraft, is you're applying 80 pounds of pressure into the cylinder at top dead center, and so it's going to have a tendency to move that propeller one direction or another. So I'm installing this hose. It's got a little O-ring on there. You don't need to go very tight because it'll seal really good. 80 psi is not a lot when it comes to air. So I've got the regulator set to 80 psi. I'm going to attach it. Are you hanging on?
Ready?
Always work safe. Work with a buddy.
Communicate.
He's going to act like it's his life depends on it. And what we're going to do is we're going to check the pressure. Ready?
Go.
Here we go. And the pressure came up. Man, it's not super low. It is low. It's at 73 pounds. Actually, no, it's actually lower now.
You can hear it. It's bleeding.
It is. it is coming out a little bit. So set that back to 80. So we're at 80 psi on the regulator. And over here, we're at 76 psi on the cylinder. I can hear a little bit of a leak, but dang it, compression's coming out good. 76 is not bad compression. What's going on? I do hear a little bit of a leak.
Maybe you have a stuck valve.
I'm not quite sure what it is, but that's a good compression test. A difference of only 4 psi from the regulated to the measured is not that big of a deal. Okay, I'm going to relieve the pressure. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. So now he's relieved the pressure on himself. It's not really bleeding a lot. I don't know what that means. Alright, so now we're given a quick demonstration of the valves moving.